floors, roofs.
Yeah.
We done this one?
Yeah.
Walls,
Yeah.
chairs,
We've done it.
whatever Forrest had to tell you to eat. You might find out, and I don't know about that, with Jim and the Grumpy Man coming to your life.
Now I can hear.
Yeah. What did you eat today? What's your big food today?
What did I eat? A yogurt?
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Did you put a bit of muesli on top of your yogurt?
Nah, I just had a yogurt, coconut yogurt.
Coconut yogurt?
Musa.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds nice. You must be hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot the incense.
Yeah, that is a bit. I had that thing with my son today where Hank was sitting around the house. I'm like, Hank, what have you eaten today? Nothing. And like as a parent, it's sort of like you have to make sure they eat.
Yeah.
You know, I got to make you something. Fuck it hell.
We're here
'Cause
today.
when I'm hungry, I just get myself food from the fridge. He just sits around until he dies.
We're here with our friend today, Joe Bartnick. He's
Joe
our guest today.
Bartnick, one of the greatest, nicest guys in comedy. He's a headline act all around the country. Also tours with Bill Burr. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show, Joe Bartnick.
Hey, what's up, guys and girls?
Welcome.
You don't guess what he... Yeah, no, you're
I
not
know.
guessing
I
this.
think I know.
The funny thing is, I only know like two things.
Yeah. I think he knows. I don't know what the second thing is.
Exactly.
Mustache.
How to make a Manhattan?
Yeah, unless the topic is how to drink and pass a breathalyzer, and I don't know what the subject is.
We are somewhere in Europe right now.
Are we? Where would we be?
Probably like Warsaw, maybe.
Warsaw.
I don't know. Look it up.
We're eating pierogies right now and Polish sausage.
This is April 24th.
Doesn't matter. We're there. We're there. And if we're in your country, thank you for having us. Shalom. Welcome.
Helsinki.
Helsinki.
Oh, I
Ah.
love Helsinki.
And Oslo, yeah.
We're doing 2 shows in the Helsinki.
Yeah.
I love Helsinki.
You like
I
Helsinki?
felt like Anthony Bourdain there. I was walking down by the river. It felt more like Pittsburgh than anywhere else.
When he was walking down by the river, Anthony Bourdain? Oh, you felt like Anthony
Yeah,
Bourdain.
like I was eating sausage,
Oh,
just
yeah.
like hanging out with the
Oh,
workers.
you're
It felt
walking,
like
you're walking
Pittsburgh.
by the river, putting rocks in your pocket. Wasn't very nice. Sorry to the Bourdain family.
I didn't even get that joke.
No, because he committed.
Oh, yeah, but I wish I got the joke. I didn't
Yeah,
even-
I thought it was more for Joe.
Yeah. Joe said he doesn't do weed because he says he's dumb enough. That's a pretty smart thing to do, though. That increases your intelligence.
I've literally smoked so much weed over the years. It's just like there's nothing left. I can't be any dumber.
You don't like to eat it?
It takes. I don't like. That's when I really feel stoned over. If I smoke it, it like kind of goes away. If I eat it, it's like I feel like the next day I'm like, oh.
Oh, it sits there for a while. Yeah. It sits
Yeah.
there. I always think like when you have like a gummy and you eat it, you're like, this is going to take a while to digest. I can't imagine it
Yeah.
just hits my stomach and it's good to go.
The last time I ate a bunch was like on a Saturday. I ate so much I didn't feel right until like Monday afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And because you keep eating it, you don't think it's kicking in, and then you eat too much, and then you're fucked.
Well, I was hungry, so I was eating it like real candy.
Like if you go up to Canada, the portions are so weak that you're getting diabetes whilst getting high. Like you're just trying to get through the candy to get to the high.
Yeah. Anyways, go to jimjefferies.com. There's more tour dates on there. You can check out
All across Europe, touring across the UK, etc., etc. Oh, not the UK. We've done the UK, America, North America,
That's after Europe.
Hamilton. We're gonna be in a production of Hamilton.
That would be awesome.
Thunder Bay. You want me to say them all, or just jimjefferies.com?
they're all
There's a
there.
lot of them, yeah.
They're always Thunder Bay. I'll see you all the times to the cop who didn't arrest me for having my dick out on the street. Thank you.
Yeah.
I was having a piss. I wasn't just walking around. I was having a piss. I was having a piss against the wall, and he caught me. But then it turned out he was a fan, so it all worked out good.
And then
One hand job later, and
IDCat Podcast on Instagram. Follow us there, and then on Patreon.
Patreon.com/IDCat.
And yeah, we don't have merch anymore, right?
I don't think so. I mean, the
I'd say-
website might still be up,
I
but
tell
we're
you,
not with them
why
anymore.
are we? Okay, so
Because it was our.
Oh, well, you got to get
other
that up
people.
again because there
Yeah.
were several Bukaki t-shirts in the UK.
Those are good shirts.
Well, we
Yeah.
can get them better designed. 'Cause
Yeah.
I think that was like the place we used to record with, you know?
Yeah,
We don't
well,
mention them
we
anymore,
get
but-
some more, but there was some merch out there.
Yeah, and I got a lot of messages asking if you were going to be selling merch at
Be
the.
cocky, huh?
Yeah.
It was my best joke still. That was episode 4.
That's how bees come. Yeah, I don't remember what the joke was. That's just.
It's how they make honey, I think.
They all do it
Bukkake?
together, so he
Okay.
said bukkake.
Yeah.
Anyway, it was funny at the time.
All right.
I don't know in hindsight whether it was T-shirt ready, but here we are.
Somebody bought them.
Ah,
Yeah.
they all had them, bukkakes.
Who doesn't want a shirt with an image of a bunch of bees coming on a bee in the center?
I think it works because even if you don't listen to the podcast, you don't know anything about bees. You get it.
Yeah, the
There's a
wordplay.
bee and it says "be cocky," and you're like, yeah, you can wear that in public.
Bee cocky's bee cum or is it bee poop?
Come.
Yeah.
Oh, it is cum, really?
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
when they make honey, I don't know what is it.
Well,
You
honey is they spit it out, but what was it? All the drones cover around the.
We learned a lot.
queen?
Is anyone else
Yeah.
having a crackle in their ears? Or just
Yeah.
A little bit.
me? Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah. I don't know what to
I
tell
think.
you.
I think. Okay, well, we'll live.
Is it okay?
It's fine.
All right,
It's
be
not-
cocky.
it's-
All right.
Let's get
Bee,
into our
it's bee
topic.
cackle.
Be cackled.
Have we got some ads?
Not,
Oh, this.
Not this one.
not in this one, no.
Okay, no ads. So let's get straight into it.
All right. Well, I've already introduced our guest, Joe Bartnick, and now we're going to play.
Now it's time. Yes, no. Yes, no. Yes, no. Judging a book by its cover.
Boom. You got to judge Joe by
Okay.
the cover.
I'm gonna Liberace rings. Is it Liberace rings? You got a great big sapphire there in your hand.
It's a ruby.
A ruby.
Yeah.
What happened there?
Oh, well, my grandfather got this. He ran a speakeasy in the 20s, and he hit the real number back in the day, and he bought this.
Oh, that's a lot better because when you're like this, my grandfather was in the Holocaust, and then I was going to go, oh god, yeah, he wanted shooting dice in an alleyway. That's what you want to hear.
And my wife's wedding ring is from the hitting the number as well.
Really?
Yeah, it was my grandmother's one, not her wedding ring, but he hit in the Christmas tree.
Yeah, I always feel like the wedding ring should be passed on. I feel like the diamonds last forever. I've talked about this before. Why are we buying new diamonds? Just inherit diamonds. You can reset them and stuff
Well, I
like
like
that.
to get the Africans more work.
Yeah, oh yeah.
I
yeah.
don't want to see them lose their jobs and
Yeah,
the new economy.
They've literally spilt blood over these diamonds. But I remember, like, my sister-in-law my brother was getting married, and my mother tried to hand down her wedding dress. That's a bold move. I've kept this under the bed. Because women know the wedding dress they want, right?
Yeah.
And this is a wedding dress from the 1960s, so it may have gone out of fashion.
Very revealing.
It had a lot of it was long sleeved up to the neck with frills and stuff like that. But it's also my mother, large woman, so very insulting to my sister-in-law. Very insulting, and there's no delicate way to say yuck.
Well,
So it's not rings. I'm gonna
I think
go
you know what Joe
ice
says.
hockey.
that's correct.
All right,
there you go.
I should have said ice
Ding,
hockey. I
ding,
just
ding.
said hockey, but yeah, ice hockey.
Yeah.
Because there's field
Because
hockey.
Australians excel at field hockey. We always win
Do
at the
you?
Olympics. Yeah, we're number one.
I don't even know how. Is it played just like hockey? But on
But
the
it's
field?
played with those wooden sticks. So it's got
maybe you'll know something about. I don't know if there's any. Well, we'll see.
Big women.
Yeah.
Yeah, we win the women and the men's a lot. It's always in the Olympics.
Oh yeah, I think I remember hearing a long time. Heath Ledger played field hockey or some shit for you guys. No, he didn't play like any.
Heath Ledger, I think he was a cyclist in. We had this like sort of teen soap opera drama thing that he was on one season, and it was about the Australian Academy of the Australian Institute of Sport. Right, and all the different, all the good-looking people who are athletic, and they're all fucking each other and all that sort of stuff. And Heath Ledger that was his first job, and I think he was a cyclist on that or something like that.
Okay.
And then he came over, and do you know that Heath Ledger? Here's a little thing. For a while there, he slept on our mate DJ Quall's couch.
Did he really?
Yeah,
Really?
How have I never heard that
I don't know.
story?
DJ just dropped it into conversation once out of nowhere. Like, that's huge, man.
Wait.
Yeah.
So he was friends with Heath Ledger?
He was friends with Heath Ledger, yeah.
Didn't know that. You know DJ Qualls?
With a skinny guy on a road
You
trip.
would know him, yeah. And Hustle and Flow. He was in Jim's
New guy.
show.
Show you.
Legit.
Oh, that, yeah.
He was in the wheelchair.
I know
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was just wondering because but he's not the guy in the first show too, right?
What's the first show?
That was
That guy was legitimately messed up, right?
Oh, the guy in the wheelchair? No.
No, it's DJ.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. He just looks like
So
that.
the first show is legit.
Yeah.
The first show is legit.
Okay. Then that's the show.
We
Okay.
auditioned.
I thought he was legitimately.
We auditioned some
I thought he
proper
was-
disabled people, and I did a routine. There was another.
They couldn't cut it.
There was a.
You're not disabled enough. I'm thinking someone here to fake it.
I tell you what, I think in today's climate we wouldn't be allowed to, because they did call. Some people wrote and called DJ saying he was doing crip face, like not like a gang member, like cripple face,
Right.
And like, first of all, are we allowed to use the word cripple? I feel like that word's on the out.
I don't think so.
I doubt it. Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. I haven't read up on that
we
one,
call
but-
it blackface. We don't call it another term face. You know what I mean? So
Right.
like they're calling it like, when they call it disabled face, but crip face is what he was called, right? And
Good.
but the rest of our cast that played disabled people were legitimate faced.
Yeah.
They were they were using regular face.
Right.
Yeah, they were
Right?
doing normal face.
Yeah, normal.
Because we're regular.
There's no face.
No.
There's no face in my
Whatever your face is your regular face. You can't outface your own face.
Yeah.
Right? Although you can go different nationality. You used to be able to go gay. You can't go gay anymore.
Well, that's not true. Nick Offerman just did it in Last of Us.
No. There's lots of people who do it, but there's Tom Hanks said he wouldn't do Philadelphia anymore.
Well, yeah, that's easy to
I
say after
reckon
you've already
it's-
done it and won the Oscar.
I reckon
Very
it's-
wealthy.
it's because he's at an age where he can't lose the weight again. He can never get AIDS ripped.
I'm so over Tom Hanks as a human being.
You over Tom
Oh
Hanks?
my God, my last movie I saw him was Bachelor Party.
Yeah? Right, but you've
That's
been
a long
over him
time
for
ago.
a while.
That's
Yeah.
in the 80s.
Yeah.
I just think
I couldn't get through Splash.
I never saw Splash, but I don't know. He thinks he's a hero. It's like, dude, you're an actor. You're not an astronaut. You're not a senator. You're not a governor. You're not the president. You're Tom Hanks.
He was Walt Disney, though. It was very
And he
believable.
did land that plane in the river.
Yeah. Hey, man, he saved a lot of lives.
I think he
talking
thinks really
cowboy
highly of himself.
Well, let me-
He wasn't Colonel Parker, though. He was just a guy in a fat suit going, "Oh, here we are, Elvis. I make the snow fall.
He's
Snow
why
job."
he's why I didn't see that movie. I'm like, I don't want to see Tom Hanks playing Colonel Tom Parker.
Yeah, it's
Who
still
would
good.
have, Paul Giamatti. Paul Giamatti must have been sitting at home watching that film going,
He's ever at home. He answers every call. He's in every other movie
yeah,
and
but why
commercial.
that? Paul Giamatti would be like, seriously? I'm not fucking Colonel Parker.
He's every music manager in every movie.
Yeah.
Why not
Yeah,
this
yeah.
one? Yeah.
Or just, I'll take Mike Myers in a fat suit.
Oh yeah, that'd be good.
I'd take him as a Colonel Parker all day. He does good British accents, good different. He could have done the natural accent of Colonel Parker, not the weird one that Hanks did.
Yeah, true. Well, let me introduce Joe properly. Joe Bartnick is a comedian, actor, and writer. Joe is the co-host and creator of the hockey podcast Puck Off with Fraser Smith. He is a contributing writer for Pro Hockey News and can be heard every week during hockey season on WDVE Pittsburgh Radio during his Soft Dumps segment. Not sure what that is. Soft Dumps.
Well, in hockey parlance, if you throw the puck up ice but softly, so it's not called icing.
Yeah.
It's called a soft dump,
Oh, okay. That was
as
something
opposed to a hard dump,
else. Yeah.
which no one likes.
And- I don't like soft dumps
All
either.
the blood
What's too
stains the
soft?
ice.
I don't know. You take a soft one over a hard one.
Regular, just like regular face, like regular dumps. So
They were accusing me of making dump face, which is probably like grip face in a way. Right?
Yeah. I even think
Trying
you're
to squeeze
doing,
one out.
I even think you're doing a hockey podcast as a bit of Canadian face.
you can find Joe on Instagram at Mr. Joe Bartnick and on Twitter at Joe Bartnick. So thanks for being here, Joe. This is what's going to happen. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions about ice hockey to Jim. He's going to do his best to answer them, and then at the end of that, you can grade him 0. And I'll re-say the
He's
answers.
got a bit of paper
I
there
brought
with
a
an ice
visual.
hockey
Oh wow, visuals, cool.
court.
Yeah, we always like
I want to say court.
10 out of 10.
Minus 1.
Green.
I've watched enough Law and Order. I know Exhibit A.
Yeah, and so at the end of him answering them, you'll grade him 0 through 10. 10's the best on his accuracy. Kelly's gonna grade him on confidence. I'll grade him on et cetera. We'll add those all together, and then I just came up with like sexual terms for hockey. So as the categories, 21 through 30. If you score 21 through 30, tonsil hockey. Do you know what that is?
Tonsil hockey is where you make out with the person you're
Nails
kissing.
and tongues. So yeah. 11 through 20, hockey style. You know what that is?
It's getting a blowjob where you bash a woman's teeth out.
When I read it,
I'm just guessing because in hockey, a lot of people lose their teeth.
No,
That's not what I feel. This is what I think you're saying.
hockey style is if you're having sex with a woman and she's got a nice body but not a great face, you pull the shirt over her face like they do when they're fighting. And
Oh, yeah, that's way better than what I'm saying. Hockey, at least I acknowledged the woman's face before. Now you're just fucking.
I didn't make these up. These are on the internet.
Hockey style, okay.
And then 0 through 10, anal puck. Just made that one up.
Yeah.
Sounds terrible.
Okay.
Puck to the anus. Okay. Why do they call it the Stanley Cup?
I knew I was doing this today, and I got very close to Googling this on the way. I got very close because I thought, I will say this is a classic Jefferies diversion. My son, Hank, when he was a baby, sat inside the Stanley Cup, and we have a photo of him inside the Stanley Cup. So I know it's not named after him. So the power, okay, I would say there would have been a hockey player with the name Stanley who was regarded as one of the best. And I will say he's Canadian. I'll say French-Canadian hockey player called Stanley.
Okay. We'll go back to all these.
Because I always know that everyone's like, le flute, le fleur.
Why is fighting allowed?
It's not allowed, really. It's the only occupation where if you punch a coworker, you have to sit away for 5 minutes and think about what you've done. Why can't every workplace be like that? Oh, I got a bit out of hand. I punched him a few times. Go for 5 minutes. Are you kidding me? All I did was punching. Fighting's allowed because I think the crowds like it. It brings in the folks.
What is the difference between a minor and a major penalty?
A minor and a major. A major penalty, you'll have to go into the box.
Okay.
Minor penalty will just be like you take it from a spot or something.
Okay. What is icing?
Yeah, I've never understood this. It's like there's this line.
Which is why I brought the visual aids.
Yeah.
There's a blue line.
Yeah.
There's a blue line.
Show the
Now,
camera.
Yeah, you can point to it while you're talking about it.
There's a blue line, right? Now what happens is you have to pass the ball, the puck, right, before the guy gets over, before your player gets over the blue line. So if you have to pass it in there so they can be in defense, and then you get in the thing.
That's icing?
Now, no. If he goes over before that,
Yeah.
then it's icing.
What's offsides?
That's offside as well.
Okay. Well, what is the blue line and the red line? Is there
Halfway,
Okay.
icing line.
What is a power play?
The power play is you're allowed like an extra player for a bit or whatever, and it's like power play, and then you get like a bit of extra
You get an
mojo.
extra player?
Yeah.
What is a hat trick?
Three goals.
3 goals
Yeah, 3 goals.
in a game?
One player getting 3 goals
Okay.
gets a hat trick. It's like the same in any sport where there's a goal post. And
How
then
many players are on the ice for each team during a standard hockey game? Are you counting these dots?
I'm going to say 7 on each side, so 14 on the pitch.
Okay. What is the name of the circular area in the front of each team's goal where the players can't be checked?
Oh, the 2 circles there.
in front of the goals. It's
Oh, in
not
front of-
on there.
Oh, that's just like that's where the goal.
Got a name.
Yeah, that's the goal zone.
What is the original 6?
The original 6 is before they brought in the power plays that gave them the 7 that made the 14.
Yeah, I think you got that one right. Do you know what cross-checking is?
Yeah, it's like when you hit a bloke and he doesn't have the puck, and you're like, "What's all that about?"
Slashing?
Slashing's like when you got your stick up too high
Okay.
and you got it above your shoulder.
Boarding? Do you know what boarding is?
When you smash someone against the wall.
Here's one you might know. What is the name of the device used to freeze the ice on the hockey rink?
Oh, I know this one.
Oh, I thought you would just know this.
Not Zimbabwe.
Oh, you're close.
It's
Zimbabwe?
No.
Close.
It's a Zamboni.
Yeah.
I know this because I perform in a lot of minor league hockey arenas in Canada, and I'm always in a back alleyway with a Zamboni.
That's a repeat.
You should
question.
have a Zamboni on stage instead of your chair next time.
No, but
Sit on it.
it's still cold, those rooms.
Who is the best player of all time?
Wayne Gretzky, who me and you have. Well, I have a theory that Wayne Gretzky needs to die soon. If he dies too late, then if he dies now, Canada gets a holiday forever. right? They always get like Wayne Gretzky Day, right? But if he leaves it too long and we start to listen to his podcast, I Don't Give a Puck, where he gives his real opinions and history, and like he starts like saying why there isn't black players in the league and stuff like that. Like he gets right into what he thinks. Then
What
holiday
is it?
gone.
You either die the hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain or something like that.
something
That's
like
Dark Knight.
That's
Yeah.
Gretzky.
Who is the best player now?
Don't know.
I mean, it's subjective, but it's pretty. I'm just guessing. In my head.
I was Lafleet Lafleur.
That's
I was in Canada when some French guy died, and that's why I know they'll get a real holiday out of Gretzky, because it was.
Oh yeah, no, Guy Lafleur.
Guy Lafleur, Lafleet Lafleur.
The flower.
Yeah,
French.
Guy Lafleur, and people were like, the audience wasn't happy. The audience was like, "Oh, we're in mourning, man. See if you can cheer us up." Guy Lafleur had died.
Who is the best fighter of all time?
Oh, it's Mike Tyson in his prime. In his prime, there was 2 years there where he could. No one
LA
could beat him.
King should have had him on there.
Like you can argue all day, Muhammad Ali, and all that type of stuff, and over the
In
course of a
hockey.
long time. But for a brief moment there, in hockey, it would be the Bash Brothers or something.
Yeah. Who is the best team of all time?
The best team of all time would be the Edmonton Oilers in the year that Gretzky had them, and they would have won 3 Stanley Cups in a row, making a dynasty for him and the Lafleurs.
Oh, so you're saying best team? Maybe like what's the best franchise then? Let's say that.
The most winning franchise of all time
winning.
in the hockey. I would say New York Rangers.
Okay. Do you know who Bobby Orr is? Do you know anything about him? Never heard of him?
No.
Bobby Orr, no?
Bobby Orr, who else?
Mario Lemieux?
Mario Lemieux.
Never heard of him?
Ding, 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 ding.
What city is Hockey City? It's called Hockey City.
It's actually Hockey Town.
Hockey Town. Why?
Hockey Town. I would say Hockey Town is
I know what this
is Toronto.
What's the loser point?
That's where you go.
All right, couple more questions. What is the shootout?
The shootout, same as like a penalty shootout.
How does it work?
They have to, well, it's not like a penalty shootout where there's a dot and then there's a goal and then you kick it off the dot. They start out. If Mighty Ducks the movie had taught me anything, and I think it has, I believe that's why Emilio Estevez's character never really wanted to play hockey again, because he had a shootout against a kid. He ducked left, he ducked right, he had him beat. But then he shot it and it hit the post or the perimeter of the goal, as you would call it.
What's the Miracle on Ice?
That was when the American team beat the Russians with Kurt Russell coaching.
Do you know where they beat them? Or
In the Olympics.
When?
The Winter Olympics.
What year or where?
1984.
You know where?
In Russia.
Okay. Hey, Joe. So all those questions that Jim answered about ice hockey, how do you think you did? 10's the best. 0's the worst.
8.5.
All right. Yeah.
I thought he did fantastic. I never thought he'd get some of those.
Wow, I thought he did
But a
terrible,
couple-
but I don't know. The answers to a lot of them. Yeah.
Oh, the only ones I would have said 8, but I'll give him 8.5. Why not?
Yeah,
Wow, that's
man.
pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe though he never heard of Mario Lemieux or Bobby Orr.
Yeah,
that
I thought he was
the two
going to
that got
Mario
me.
Lemieux, yeah.
Okay, you got to understand, ice hockey in Australia, not big. So when you don't,
But you've been in.
I've been here for a while,
America-
and I've been
in-
to maybe 3 ice hockey games. I've actually gone to see him. One of my best friends is Canadian, and he's obsessed with hockey, so he's taken me to a couple.
Mm-hmm.
And I can't follow.
They're the equivalent of like the two. It'd be like who's after Pele is the next. It'd be like the number 2 and 3 most famous guys ever.
Right. Like, more than Gretzky. Oh,
No,
they're 2 and 3.
Yeah.
I know-
They're the holy trinity.
I used to do a joke about like the documentary about the King's Ransom. You seen that King's Ransom documentary?
Yes.
And the whole thing is, why did he leave Edmonton to go to Los Angeles? It's a real head scratcher. All you need to do is show a photo of Edmonton and a photo of Vegas and go, someone was living here. And they had the option to move here. You don't even have to say why.
show his wife too and see where she would rather live. Like, hey, where would you rather?
I tell you what. So
where do you want to live, Edmonton or LA? Like,
Jason Whitehead, my Canadian ice hockey man.
Love Jay. He grew up in the same street as one of the answers to this question.
Oh, really? He's one of these answers. His brother. But
Jimmy Whitehead.
he's mad for ice hockey.
Pierre Whitehead.
And I once said, I don't know much about the ice hockey, but I know I fancy Gretzky's daughter. Right? I think there's nothing wrong with her. And he goes, really? She looks too much like Wayne.
You're talking about Paulina, the one that's married to DJ Johnson?
Yeah. She's been around for a while, man.
She's
She's very pretty. Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with Gretzky's daughter. And like, she's of age. It's not like, because it sounds like I'm talking about
She's
a 5-year-old.
married to a professional golfer.
Yeah, she's married to a professional. And he goes, no, I could never. She looks too much like Wayne. And I'm like, as a Canadian, isn't that what you all want? Put your dick in Wayne?
Right.
All right, so let's go through these. Why do they call it the Stanley Cup? Jim said it would have been a hockey player
We
named
didn't grade
Stanley.
him.
Oh, we didn't? Oh, yeah,
He
8.
did.
Sorry. Confidence.
I'm giving him a 10 for Laflit Lafleur.
It's
Le flip, le
18.18. Fine. I'll just give you so you're not hockey style. You didn't seem to like that. I'll give you a 5. So you've got 23 points.
Sure.
Tonsil hockey.
Sure. I like kissing.
Why do they call it the Stanley Cup? Jim said they would have been a hockey player named Stanley. It's a French Canadian.
In the late 1800s, a guy named Frederick Arthur Stanley, Lord Stanley of Preston, he bought this cup for basically it's $50 now, but then it was called 10 guineas. And not 10 Italians, but 10 guineas. And
They were worth $1 each. You can get 15 guineas to build you a porch. You could.
and
The currency Mario uses.
and it's the champion. He bought it to give to the champion hockey team in the Dominion of Canada.
Yeah, I've always heard it's Lord Stanley, but I didn't know he was a lord.
Well, he was the Lord of Preston.
You know the country New Guinea is just Italian babies.
So so if you guys don't know, like there's the bowl on top, right? The bowl that's the cup.
That's what my
but
son
underneath is like 60 years. Everyone gets to put their name on it. And
It gets bigger and bigger.
Well, yeah, and then every 10 years they take off the highest one.
I was going to ask
And
that.
put it in the Hall of Fame.
I wonder because they rate all the names of everyone on each team that wins, right?
Right.
And then, okay, so they take off a segment and put in. That was gonna because eventually it's gonna be
It got to mass size.
It got too big, so like maybe the ring from like the 20s and the 30s and 40s, they're all in the Hockey
remove
Hall
it,
of Fame
yeah.
in Toronto.
Hey, when you see him ice skating and holding it above their head, you're like, fuck, that looks
heavy.
Yeah.
It
Have you ever
looks
held it?
heavy.
No, because I've never won the cup, and I don't think I should.
There's not a thing. I always see like where you can go see it. I guess you can't touch it.
Well, you can see
Like
it.
I said, I've never won the
No, like, you can go see it, and a lot of people touch it.
Yeah.
And you're allowed to touch it. I just never have personally because I've never won the Stanley Cup.
Well-
but a human, a regular civilian can touch it. Yeah. The only thing a regular civilian is not allowed to do is put it over their head.
Really?
You've had to have won the Stanley Cup to pick up.
Well, when I saw it, okay, so there was the Sundance movie thing. They had the cup at there was a celebrity ice hockey game that incidentally I got asked to play in to begin with. And I said, I can't ice skate, right? I've never done it, right? And then they're like, oh, do you want to commentate? And I was like, sure. Right? So it was me and, what's his name? Caprio's best mate, played Lex Luthor. Rosenbaum. So that was the first time we'd ever met, me and Rosenbaum, and I was commentating, and there was like the dad from Growing Pains was out there.
Alan Thicke is good.
Yeah, well, not anymore. Yeah, you know he's dead, right?
Yeah. He was good though.
Yeah, there was a whole heap of like, and then I think one of the Farley brothers was playing.
Fairly.
There was people legit playing, and then they just had me and I was over the speaker, never watched the ice hockey game, just having a go, and then I realised my comedy of not knowing anything was irritating the people who were trying to actually watch, so I stepped away at halftime. But they had the cup there, and
Yeah, we should have asked that.
yeah, that's three quarters, three thirds,
No, 3 something.
3 periods.
There you go. All right, you're doing great.
But I put my baby. You've seen that picture? We hold Hank up.
Yeah.
I mean, like he just sat there. He was about 3 months old. He couldn't even sit upright, and we shoved him in the Stanley Cup. No one seemed to mind, and you won't even touch it. I had a baby possibly shitting it.
It wouldn't be the first. There's a famous story of a baby pooping, and kids have peed in the cup. Dogs have eaten from the cup. I have a couple for the last segment. A couple really funny stories about the cup.
Okay.
Don't they all drink out of it too?
Oh, they all do that.
So this guy buys the cup for 10 guineas, right? He buys the cup, and how does it become synonymous with hockey? Was he an ice hockey player?
You've been to Canada. It's the whole deal. So he wanted to have something nice to give to the champions of the league, or the best team in Canada that year. And he just went around, and then after that, since the NHL became the highest ranking league, the winner of the NHL won the Stanley Cup.
I know something. I remember this. Okay. Montreal won it first.
Maybe the Montreal Maroons did way back in the day.
I remember seeing something when I was in Montreal about the cup and it being the blah blah blah.
No, they like it there.
I don't know. I believe Montreal. It originated in
the Montreal Hockey Club.
Yep.
Did you ever play hockey?
Not obviously not professional. I mean, not on my high school team or anything like that. Just like with friends and stuff.
And what got you into it?
My grandfather loved hockey. It was like his favorite thing, and we always played street hockey when we were kids. I just love the sport.
Steve Byrne plays a bit.
Yeah, he's from Pittsburgh too.
Yeah, he plays a bit.
My
My friend Glenn Wool played in this league with
Ian
Bagg and all that.
We used to always play on Monday nights.
Yeah.
In the comic league, but I think Byrne.
Do you remember Glenn Wool playing? He's a Canadian from Britain.
A lot of Canadians used to play. I don't.
Anyway.
No, they were like all like the same 5 cities: Boston, Pittsburgh.
I just feel like if you didn't play it at all as a kid, very difficult sport to take up later on.
Well,
in
I'm
life.
terrible at skating. That's why I got good. I was called sweet hands. Like I got sweet hands around the net and can shoot, but I can't skate worth a damn.
Right. So what do you just poach up the front?
Yeah, well,
I
don't really
offside
cherry
all the
pick. I'm always offside half the time, unless nobody cares in the game. And it's just fun. It's so much fun to play.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't skate. That's when I watch hockey, I'm always, obviously the skill levels and same for everything. But the skating, if you watch a lot, no one ever talks about the skate. And they're like, wow, that's like, I'm not even talking about like just some sort of great move. I'm just talking about going backwards at a speed. I'm like, how the fuck are they doing that?
That's the
no
difference.
sport I'm more in awe of than an ice hockey
It's
player.
so much fun to watch.
When I watch it on TV, I'm like, fuck, they're good. Whatever they're doing. But I can't follow it. I can't follow the play. I know they've tried doing things, putting little streams on it.
Now they have a little stream. It looks like when you hit like a putt.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
But that's always they always say hitting a baseball is the hardest thing to do in sports. They used to say that, but now it's like when you think about it, whenever a guy takes a slap, say on the power play, a guy takes a slap shot, right?
Yeah.
He's hitting the puck between 90 and 100 miles an hour, trying to hit it into the net. There's a guy standing in front of him on his team trying to deflect it. Past because the goaltender's trying to make the initial save. While that guy is trying to do that, I'll be the guy trying to deflect it. He's on ice skates, holding a stick, trying to hit a puck coming at him at 90 miles an hour, trying to deflect the puck behind a guy who's in full pads trying to stop the puck from him doing it into a net. So he can still deflect it, makes it crooked.
Yeah.
The whole time he's doing that, there's another guy cross-checking him with a stick in the back, making sure he doesn't do that.
And they don't even fall down. And they do,
Hitting a
obviously.
baseball's harder.
Obviously, people fall down here, but not as often as you think they will. With the amount of contact and physicality there,
Oh, yeah.
they just stay up. They're like, and they're like, all right, I'll just take that. I'm like, it's insane to me.
I was super averse to hockey when I was younger because I just don't like violence, and I thought that's what the game was. And then I went and saw a game live, and I've been forever changed. Like, it's my favorite sport to go to the game.
Really?
Yeah, it's so much fun.
It's the best sport live. If you ever go, anybody listening, the first time you go, get expensive tickets and sit down low. After that, you can sit.
Yeah, I was
you
4
gotta
rows
see
from
it
the
up
ice
close.
my first game.
It's
It was
insane.
epic.
Why is fighting allowed? Is it just because the crowds like it? That's what Jim.
I think it is for ratings.
A little bit, but mainly back in the day, it's there because it's grown men with sticks, and there's no out of bounds. So you can do something heinous to someone with an elbow. You can crash someone in the boards head first. You can do a lot of stuff. So how do you police that? You can't wait for the commissioner 3 days later to go, you're docked, $500 back in the day. No, what is the one retribution no one wants? punched in the face. So the game polices itself on that level, and that's why you need fighting at the highest levels, in my opinion, because that's what it's there for.
And it stops them from hitting each other with sticks?
That's what some people say. But I think it's just the fact now there's less of it around, but every team used to have goons, and those guys were around to protect the other guys on the ice so no one did cheap, dirty stuff to them because they knew, like if, say, Gretzky, if you mess with Gretzky, then Semenko, or McSorley is going to beat the crap out of you.
I would have been a pretty average goon. Just an insult guy. Just sort of skated by.
An insult goon. Yeah. I won't punch you. I'll just make you feel bad about yourself.
Yeah. And Gretzky's like, yeah, that's great, Jim, but he just hit me with a stick.
I'd be like, hey, Gretzky, I like your daughter. And then he'd be like, we're on the same team, mate. Oh, there you go.
Protecting Gretzky with the jokes.
Making him think of other things.
Oh, yeah. So
he's not worried.
It's diversion. Yeah. Nice.
They actually think, some people in American television think if they took fighting out of the game, it would increase ratings because the people would be like, oh, yeah, I don't like all that fighting. But in reality, they're losing the hardcore fans. Not that we all want the stage fights where the two goons show up at center ice like, okay, it's time to go. Everyone wants the ability to, when there's an aggression, when there's a bad hit, when there's just the ire is up to be able to throw a punch.
How is the concussion problems going?
I just kind of sweep them under the rug.
Yeah, but it's not as. But I imagine it's not as much as NFL because there isn't as many, and also you're flowing with the hit. Then it's not like a still. I don't know.
There's less money, so more guys shut up about it. They want to play.
Right.
More hockey players would be like, I got a headache. I'm gonna shut up and be on the ice.
Well, the rugby league in Australia.
Hey, I have a headache, and I want to get $40 million and not play again.
Right,
a lot of those guys are in the NFL.
Because I think I know you're saying that they soften it, but they're going faster than the NFL. They're going, I don't know how fast skating, but like 20 miles an hour.
Physically it would hurt just as much, but I don't know if the jolting of the brain, I don't know. Is it
the helmets aren't as good as the NFL's either. The helmets are thinner.
Because
they're going faster.
The rugby in Australia, rugby union and the rugby league and all that type of stuff, now they've got like such big concussion protocols and all the players are just as bad, if not worse, than the NFL. And now if you're concussed, 11 days. 11 days you don't play again.
Yeah, they try to make it safer where they've taken some of the hits, like high hits, the high elbows, the straight shots to the head now are looked at, and you can be suspended a game or two. But they're more and more creeping back into the game, and people want the violence.
Yeah, you love the violence.
So what is the difference between a minor and major penalty? Jim said major, you have to go into the box.
Both penalties require the box.
How did I get 8.5?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm an easy.
Yeah.
He's your friend?
You would have been the best teacher at school.
I'm not a nut. I want everyone to pass. Let's go. So a 5-minute major is someone's in the box for 5 minutes. That's usually a heinous act, like boarding someone who's not looking into the back of the boards, a high elbow to the head, kind of an intent to injure. Sometimes you'll get taught someone else have to serve that penalty. But in those 5 minutes, the other team is on the power play the whole 5 minutes. It never ends.
And again, power play, we talked about that. You're allowed an extra play. We can jump ahead. You're allowed an extra player for a bit.
A power play is when, say, my team, say you trip one of my guys and I'm in the box, and so your team has a guy in the box for tripping. Then my team is on the power play, and your team is technically shorthanded. And that's a 2-minute penalty where your team has minus a guy for 2 minutes. Unless I score, then you come out of the box within those 2 minutes. In a major, no one comes out of the box. I can score as many times as I want in those 5 minutes.
Oh, so they're shorthanded for 5 minutes. Oh, I didn't know that. So if you score, you still stay shorthanded.
On a major.
I do like when they take out the goalie and put an extra player in because they need to get a goal in the last bit. And I saw a goalkeeper score a goal the other day, like about a month ago.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
I saw one. There wasn't two goalkeepers fighting one time, isn't that?
Yes, it's
because they would really have to hate each other.
Well, when everyone pairs off, it's kind of like the honors and the goalies go at it. But Fleury and Binnington tried to go, but the linesmen broke it up. And they talk about fans getting angry. Everyone wants to see them go because Binnington's kind of a prick. Yeah. And everyone loves the flowers.
Well, it's a long skate.
So if a big brawl breaks out, the whole game. Do they jump out of the boxes and all come in like in baseball?
They used to until about the early '80s, and then they said, you know what, this is every game is slap shot and lasting 5 hours, and now we're really. So now they really clean. You're not allowed to. basically you're not allowed to. If two people are fighting, you're not allowed to jump in. That's called the third man in rule, and then you're instantly kicked out of the game. And also, if there's 5 guys 5-on-5, you're not allowed to leave the bench for a fight. That came in about the late '80s.
That would. My favorite thing in sport is when they clear out the dugouts in baseball. When
but that's not real fighting.
Oh, I love it though.
In baseball, they're just like,
yeah, because then the guys in the bullpen who are on the other end of the stadium who aren't even watching.
Yeah, they take a slow jog.
They're not even watching. They all go, we're a team. And they, what's going on, guys? Oh, it's over, is it?
By the time they make it from the bullpen, they're like, get on.
That was always the problem. Like Yasiel Puig, when he's playing for Cincinnati, would come out and like he'd get involved in fights he had nothing to do with because he was a loose cannon.
What is icing? Jim said he's never understood this. Explained that on the diagram. I asked him offsides. He said the same.
Okay, I think it's easier if I just show Jim. People can look at screens at home, right?
Okay.
So icing is this is center red.
Yeah, center red.
This is center red.
Yeah.
So let's say this is yours. This is your half. This is my half.
Okay.
I have to get I have to bring the puck up over center
We're gonna
red.
start a fight.
Over center red.
Yeah.
If I don't and shoot the puck and it goes past this line,
Yeah. Okay.
that is icing.
So if you shoot from here, it goes past this line, it's icing. And what's the repercussions?
Then the face-off comes back to right here.
And then you go in
right in front of the other
in
goal.
in the upfield tits.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if this jumps on the list, but here is.
Do you call them upfield tits?
Here is offsides. Here is offsides, right? So I'm defending this net, right? You have the puck. You cannot cross this. You cannot enter this before the puck does.
Why did the goalkeeper score a goal that whole way then? Wouldn't that be icing?
Well, if he didn't make the goal, it would be icing.
If you make the goal, you're all right.
Yes. or I guess this not technically. This is a good thing to know, though. If I'm shorthanded, if you're on the power play, I'm allowed to ice the puck.
Yeah, if you're down a man, you can just keep throwing it down there.
So basically, the key of hockey is, so let's say you have the puck here, right here. What I'm trying to do is I try to get the puck out over this blue line into this is called the neutral zone. Mm-hmm. So then all your guys have to retreat and go back.
Right. Yeah.
And for those listening at home, just look all that up.
No, I know it was being.
I think you did pretty good. Yeah.
And where did the word icing come from?
I don't know.
Cake.
Yeah.
But I knew that it's hard to understand unless you just do it like that.
Yeah, sure.
Because now people know offside. Because to me, people say, I understand hockey. There's too much to learn. There's literally only 3 lines.
Yeah.
Why is everything in thirds? Why? How does that help?
Oh, like 3 periods.
Yeah, because I guess you
it's the
change
same length of a game as football. It's just
but you change
3 periods.
sides. So I understand there's no wind or anything because of the size of it.
Right.
So it should be the same no matter where you are. But the fans might be.
The ice is different. The ice gets worn.
The ice can get worn different. Why wouldn't you have it even like 4 quarters or 2 halves?
Because you have the neutral zone. So here anything can go.
No. I'm not
he's
saying
why isn't it 4? He's saying 3 periods.
3 periods.
4 quarters.
Why 3 periods over 4 quarters or 2 halves?
I think 20 is great. This is the way it's always been.
Yeah. That's just how it is. Yeah.
Was it invented by a Canadian?
I'll look it up.
Who invented hockey?
One.
Oh, I'm sure a Canadian did.
Yeah, there would have been some.
Kelly's looking it up.
I don't see the need for a fourth quarter.
We already talked about a power play. And then
this makes sense to maintain the ice because between periods they're bringing like the Zamboni out and fixing everything.
No, but he's saying why is it 3 instead of 4?
Yeah,
It's
instead of
4
4
quarters in basketball, 4 quarters in football. It's
An hour and
time.
20 is pretty taxing of hockey. That's why they all.
No, but you take them down to 15, 15, 15, 15.
Yeah, I think maybe because it takes too long.
I got you there.
Because I think the period in between periods is longer than in between a quarter or a half because of the Zamboni and stuff like that.
It's 18 minutes between 20.
Yeah, so I think if you didn't 4, it'd be too long.
I went to see the Las Vegas Knights play, and my friend was like, "Oh, you got to
Whitehead.
Yeah, Whitehead was like, "You're gonna love it, man." He goes, "It's Vegas. It's all show business." And there was nothing. There was a bloke who skated out. Skated out,
crushing it.
And then he pulled a sword out of a rock and went, "Rah," and they all lost their shit. And then what happened afterwards was, in between one of the periods, there was this guy who proposed to his girlfriend on the ice. He's got something to say. Of course, he's proposing, right?
Did she say yes?
You're a bitch.
She said yes, but then they were like they had like a band area up high, and then they go, and in the next period, we have someone here, we can marry you right now. And she was like, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, she did it.
She did?
Yeah, they got married right away. She wasn't. She wasn't
not
happy.
good at all.
Oh, she got married. Oh, that's
Yeah.
like a drive-through
It's like
Elvis
such a
thing.
Vegas thing.
Oh.
She got proposed to. She was engaged for 20 minutes, and then married.
I'm sure her parents were happy.
Wow.
Oh no!
They should have a divorce,
If you saw,
and set it
if you
right.
saw this woman, there's a good chance her parents were dead.
Okay.
Not old, just a sadness behind her eyes.
I have a better answer for your question. So before 1910, they used to play 2 halves of 30 minutes each, but at the end of each half, the ice was so rutted and covered with snow that it slowed the game way down. So then they changed to
Went to
3.
three.
But we're doing it indoors. They're covered with snow.
Well, like the
the shavings from skates.
shavings.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for the Zamboni. Hat trick, you got right.
Yeah,
One-
well, that's a hat trick for it. You get hat tricks in most sports, right? They have hat tricks.
No, just hockey and soccer.
A natural hat trick is 3 in a row.
Oh, without anyone else scoring.
Cricket.
Yeah, it's in between.
Cricket?
If you get 3 outs in 3 balls, which is
Oh, okay.
very rare,
Yeah.
very
3
hard.
balls is very rare.
Oh,
You
yeah.
should be hospitalized.
Yeah. If you,
Or in a museum.
I call it me and a Hitler.
Carnival.
Okay, so if you get 3 out of 3 bowls,
Okay.
that's hard work. Shane Warne did a beautiful one once.
How many
Crowd goes crazy.
How many players are on the ice for each team during a standard hockey game? Jim said 7 aside.
It's 6.
But you're not.
You almost
including-
had it. 2 defensemen, 3 forwards, 1 goalie.
Yeah, not how we played in Australia, because the ice is melting, so we want the game to go quicker. So we get an extra.
All hands on deck.
We get an extra player, and we don't have a Zamboni. We just
There's
have a
Australian
bloke
rules
with a bucket.
hockey like football.
I tell you what I do like about the ice hockey, which I think is nice. They get the girl, like it's better than a cheerleader. The girl who just has to come out and she's wearing like yoga
the
pants.
shovel?
Yeah, she comes out with a shovel and a pair of yoga pants and she skates along. That is sexier than any Laker girl, I'll tell you. Because she's doing a
Yeah,
job.
she's skating. Or,
Yeah, and she's there shoveling and putting it into a bucket. And I'm like,
she likes
I'm
to
like-
work.
I'm like, she's a worker.
Yeah, she's making an income.
She can skate. I'm in love.
And on that point, then go to a game in Anaheim because those women are beautiful.
Right.
They're not like some teams have like girls or like
Oh,
teenagers.
no,
These are literally like straight from like Spearmint Rhino.
Yeah.
No, I'm
It's
talking
crazy.
about the ones in Vegas, right?
Oh,
so we
yeah,
had
well, they're
some,
probably-
yeah, I wasn't watching teenagers. Just want to put that out there. I wasn't. So
Great work ethic. She's going to do really well her senior year.
It wasn't a Catholic youth group.
Yeah. It's not like I was watching a game in Detroit.
Right. No, but
they're good
I've been to Vegas. The Anaheim one's 10 out of 10.
Ah, well, I'm up to Anaheim.
What is the name of the circular area in front of each team's goal where the player can't be checked? The goal zone is
Goal box.
not-
Well, it's called the crease.
Yeah.
And they call it the blue paint kind of because they paint it blue.
Yeah.
And other players are allowed to get hit. You're not really allowed to hit the goaltender. It's kind of like
Oh, I see.
sometimes you'll bump into him, but if you score and you've bumped into him, they'll review it and call it back.
So if you score, what can you bump into him after you score? I always wonder that. Like you score and then you can hit the goalie.
And you're allowed a little bit of bumping him, but you just can't. You can't run him over. And usually the goaltender is kind of like your wife or your girlfriend.
Yeah.
When you mess with someone's goaltender,
Wait a minute.
then that's
the
when there's a
goaltender's
fight.
the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. Then there's usually
They
a fight.
protect
Kind of
him
like
at
your
all
wife
costs.
or girlfriend. Big girl covered in pads.
They're also. We were talking about it.
Wearing a mask.
Yeah. When did they get rid of the serial killer masks? I reckon someone should bring them back. The Mike
for the
Myers.
goaltender because I don't think those protected you enough. Like the
Right.
ones now are like,
That's exactly it. They're just not as protective.
But they had a good look to them.
Yeah, they're great.
They had a good look, and you could paint them with skulls and
I don't think
stuff.
you could see as good either. Now they have a better. Like that was just like this.
Right.
And then
Well,
you're like,
there's
now you
actually part of the Hockey Hall of Fame. They have the masks. Goalie masks are a huge industry.
Where's the Hockey Hall of Fame?
Toronto, Canada.
Oh,
Is
Right on Yonge Street.
Is that Hockey Town?
No, Hockey Town is Detroit, Michigan.
yeah, I knew that one actually.
Yeah, the Red Wings.
Yes, sir.
I went did the
The wig.
Detroit. I did Detroit Comedy Festival, and you know Mike Finois, he's a comic on East Coast, New York. Anyways, he was there. I barely knew him, but we were just sitting at the bar. We had nothing to do. He goes, "You want to go see the Red Wings?" I go, "Sure." We went online, and it was a year that the Red Wings were terrible. They were just awful, and it was near the end of the season, so they're out of it. So we got really good tickets right next to the penalty box, like 2-3 rows. So we had great tickets. But on the way there, he goes, "You want to eat an edible?" I go, "Sure." And I'm not great with edibles. And I go, "How much?" He goes, "I just take like half of that chocolate bar, whatever." Holy shit. In the second period, things got, like the beginning, they're playing the St. Louis Blues, and the Blues were just, I want to say it was like 6-0. They were killing them. And that shit started kicking in, and they have like a bowling pin that dances around for some reason. I think that's what I remember.
They don't have a bowling pin.
But that's what was confusing. I'm like, why is there a bowling pin?
It was a fat white guy. It was an amputee.
And then we kept, the cool thing was they go into the penalty box, right? We could literally touch the penalty box. We're that close. And I remember just like looking over at the guy, and I don't know what I looked like. I was just fucked up. I was like, then he looked at me just like, I can't remember what players. Like I was a fucking moron, which I was at that time. But yeah, the seats are really tiny. Oh, then there's the old Joe Louis Arena.
Oh, Joe Louis, yeah.
Yeah, and we're fat now, dude. Whenever they built that arena, I was like, holy shit, dude. Maybe it was the edibles.
The new Palace is amazing. Caesar's Palace Arena in Detroit. I have a crazy acid story about a football game I attended.
But first of all, so you guys don't think there was a dancing pin?
I don't believe.
No, there might have been a dancing bowling pin.
I believe
for sure.
I don't believe you're even.
Or a rolling pin for Little Caesars.
What's your acid story?
We can move on.
No.
Oh, so me and my buddy, I won't name his name. We dropped acid and took my sister. My sister's the biggest Steelers fan in the world. She could never go to regular season games because they're regular season games. So she got to go to one preseason game a year back in the day. Me and my buddy tripped. We took my sister. Steelers were losing like 45-6 at halftime. We're like, we gotta go. We're just tripping.
You're a Steelers guy?
Yeah. I'm like, let's just go. Come on, Karen. It's over. My sister's name's Karen. It's a cool name to have now.
Yeah.
And
I believe I started that. The Karen thing.
You did?
I do. I did it twice in some specials 5 years before the Karen phenomenon happened. I was like this, for fuck's sake, Karen. It was always the name of the person who I always like.
Yeah.
There was a thing like I was telling jokes and I was doing stuff on religion. And I go, there's someone here who bought a ticket for 10 of their friends. And now they're like this, fuck, Karen loves God. I'm never going to fuck Karen, right? I think I was at the forefront. Anyway, carry on. Your sister's called Karen. Apologize for me.
No worries. So they were like, we got to go. We're just tripping balls. We start driving home. We hear on the radio, they're coming back. Right. Steelers made the greatest fourth quarter comeback ever, but thank God they missed the extra point to tie the game, or we missed overtime. And we get home. We're like,
I lost.
We thought my parents weren't going to be home. They're like, where are you? We get home. We're buzzing, and they're like, the movie was sold out. We're like, why didn't you stay? We're like,
I don't feel good.
Your sister's upset.
And so you're a Penguins guy?
100%. The Penguins are my team.
Yeah, Penguins.
Yeah.
I'll give that to Pittsburgh, man. Whenever you go there, they support their teams. Fucking hell. They're wearing Steelers jerseys in the crowd, and you're like, it's summer.
Oh, yeah.
Well, it's not even the season you're wearing them.
Church tomorrow morning, got to be ready.
Yeah.
They wear them to church.
Yeah, they fucking wear. And also, every time I get into a car, it's like someone's got the rubber mats in the floor of his car with the Steelers embedded. Into that took effort. That's something you had to put something into a web page to make sure that it fitted your car and everything. It was perfect.
Yeah, it's a huge sports town, Pittsburgh. That's no basketball, but the other three teams.
Yeah, and the Pirates. The Pirates are a minor league team.
Yeah,
I mean they just swept the Red Sox.
There's a history there, though.
Yeah, but the history is everything ended 50 years ago.
Well, Barry Bonds.
I like the uniform though, man. The uniform.
Oh, the We Are Family.
I like the old one with the stripes.
Yeah, We Are
Your
Family.
Kid has they're the Pirates now. Right?
Yeah. I got some pirate stuff.
No, I love Willie Stargell, Dave Parker. That's
I
worked for them. I worked for them in the late '80s, early '90s with Bonds and Manny and those guys.
Yeah.
What did you do?
Security.
Did acid. Yeah.
Hung out.
Ate acid.
A few times.
What is the original 6? That's before they brought in the power plays. They gave them 7. I don't know what Jim said.
The original 6 are the NHL from the early 1900s to 1932 had a combination of about 10, 12 teams sometimes. But due to the Great Depression, World War II, teams, cities just fell by the way.
Oh, I think I can do the original 6. Can I have a go at it?
Yes.
The original 6 teams is what you're saying.
The original
yeah, so in 1932, only 6 teams remained from all that mishmash.
Okay, were there Canadian ones involved?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to say the Canucks.
No.
Okay. Well, okay.
So far, so good.
You know what city that is?
Say
the cities. Yeah.
I'm a hint for one of them.
Yeah, do the cities.
Chicago Red Stripes.
Yeah.
What's the Chicago, the Flames?
Blackhawks.
Blackhawks. So Chicago, I'm going to give one. I'm going to give Pittsburgh.
They never named
of
six.
course
They were in the
they-
the original 10 in
bloody-
1910.
Yeah.
The Montreal
Yes, Canadians.
Canadians.
Yeah, that's 2.
That's 2 Montreal Canadians.
4 more.
It's not the Kings. It's not the Ducks. It's not.
He just said the Hockey Hall of Fame is in a city. I'm assuming that.
Yeah,
they were-
Detroit.
Detroit is one for sure.
Yeah, well, that's
Detroit,
right. Well,
yeah.
yeah, that's not what I was saying, but yeah.
Yeah, Detroit's going to be one. Toronto.
Yes, you got 4.
It's 4.
Other 2 are easy. Big Eastern cities.
Yeah,
Ben
because
Affleck, Matt
I'm going to
Damon.
say the Boston Bruins.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
And I'm going to say the New York Rangers.
Yes, there you go.
Did it.
Good work.
All right.
And they lasted until 1967, and then the next 6 came, and then they had a 12-team league. And the next 6 is Pittsburgh Penguins, Philadelphia Flyers, Minnesota North Stars, the California Seals, which no longer existed, and the L.A. Kings.
yeah.
And I'm probably missing one.
Oh, the Kings have been around for a long time.
Yeah, the
you
Kings
said
had
4.
50 years, yeah.
Yeah. You mentioned some of these cross-checking, boarding, slashing, like all the cross-checking.
Yeah, cross-checking is when you use your stick to hit someone kind of like this, like you're doing a push-up on
Oh, I
their
thought you
back.
could hit with a stick. But
That's called cross-checking.
Oh, okay.
I mean, it's like in basketball, you're not supposed to touch someone, but everyone
sometimes
does.
they're like pushing and they have the stick in their hand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know how basketball, you're not supposed to touch someone,
Yeah.
but everyone touches everybody the whole time?
Yeah, it's
kinda like that.
physical, yeah. And then boarding against the board.
But boarding is not really against the boards as much as when you're looking at the boards and someone hits you from behind.
Oh, okay. So you got to be, yeah. And then slashing.
Slashing is using your stick, and it's not even hitting them with the stick. You can if you hit their stick out of their hand, it's like any kind of motion with a stick, like swinging a
Top
stick.
3 hockey movies of all time.
Slapshot, Youngblood, and Miracle.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about that one that was Goon? Was that one any good?
Oh, I love Goon. Yeah, Goon. Oh, yeah.
And Goon had
too.
Stifler in it.
Yeah, I like that.
Goon is definitely
What about that one with Russell Crowe where he's in Alaska?
Mystery
What?
Alaska. I never saw that
What
one.
the fuck's that?
There's an ice hockey Russell Crowe movie where he's in Alaska.
It's called Mystery Alaska?
Yeah, I saw it once in Cinemax or something.
Is it any good?
I can't really remember, but Russell's very young in it. It's like it's just after or just before Gladiator.
I heard it's a good movie. I'm not a movie guy at all. That's why I don't.
Yeah.
I've only seen like Miracle once. People back home would shit themselves.
Was I right about Miracle? Let's jump to Miracle.
Well, what is use the freeze the hockey rink, Zamboni, you got that. Yeah, we wouldn't jump to it. What is Miracle on Ice? It just says when the American beat the team, the Russians, with Kurt Russell coaching, Winter
Correct.
Olympics in 1984 in Russia.
In 1980,
not
the
fun.
United States beat the Russians in the height of the Cold War. They beat them 4-3, and then they went on to beat Finland to win the gold medal.
yeah.
And at that time, Jim McKay said it was like a college team from Canada beating the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Yeah.
Basically, the Russians were like they were a professional, like military. Some of those guys are in the Hockey Hall of Fame. They came over and they defected, and they became like Hall of Famers in the NHL at some point.
Oh, after that game?
Yeah. Well, a couple years after.
And it was in Lake Placid, New York.
Yeah.
right?
How many fucking athletes defect? Like, if you're Russia, why do you ever send a team anywhere during the Cold War? It's like half of them come back.
Well, now they still kind of are. I mean, Evgeny Malkin, the Pittsburgh Penguin, he was under contract with a team in Russia. And when he was a kid, they weren't going to let him leave. He had to, like, at a tournament in Europe, like, sneak into a hotel and be snuck out the back door.
Wow.
Yeah, Russia's still crazy.
I defected from Australia to get here.
So, best player of all time is Wayne Gretzky? Is that?
Yes. I would
Yeah.
say that.
He's the greatest.
Not even, because in basketball they always go LeBron, but this is not to be debated.
Well,
right?
well, the thing is like you can look blue in the face. Like I'm a Mario guy because I'm from Pittsburgh, and he was without injury and cancer, he might have been.
Who's that?
Mario Lemieux.
Oh, Mario Lemieux,
You
yeah.
know, and Bobby Orr changed the game, but you can't. Gretzky's statistics are so ridiculous that you can't even argue.
What about this guy? Okay, so wait, who's the best player now? Not Lafleur.
No, right now, the best kind of reigning, kind of the king is Sidney Crosby.
Crosby.
I'm not just saying that because he's a Penguin, but he's won 3 Stanley Cups. He won 2 gold medals for the Canadians.
What about Ovechkin?
Ovechkin is the number 1 goal scorer. He's going to pass Gordie Howe, Mr. Hockey. But like the league just voted him, all the players, he won by 20%. 30%. Next guy only had 10%. Is best overall player in the NHL.
Ovechkin?
No, Crosby.
Crosby.
'Cause
I thought he was done, though. Like, too many concussions and stuff like that.
That was like 10 years ago. He came back.
Oh, he's fine?
No. But
It's like Rocky in those later films where he's more eloquent.
Ovi and Sid in the big picture are going to be the next tier under the 3 guys.
Yeah.
Or Lemieux and Gretzky. So.
And after that,
But the best player right now is Connor McDavid. We call him McJesus. He plays in Edmonton.
Is he Irish? He sounds like he's Irish fella.
Probably, but he's Canadian.
Oh,
so.
Canadian.
Okay.
But he's incredible.
Coming from Nova Scotia.
I like hockey. I appreciate it. I will watch. And the playoffs, I always watch the playoffs because the playoffs are like so intense, you know?
Yeah, it's the best.
The intensity is.
There's nothing.
But I know who Connor McDavid. I don't watch a lot of hockey, but I know who he is just because he's that good.
Yeah.
Like he's
insane. And that's one thing. Any city becomes a hockey city once their team, when they win the Stanley Cup, then it's like they're made.
Yeah.
But they're kind of like an associate member of the Gambino. If once the city makes the playoffs and they see their team in playoff hockey, there's nothing like playoff.
In Miami,
yeah, but like the Kings, when I first came out here, the Kings had won.
Right.
And are they still showing up? Because the Kings.
Oh yeah, they sell out every game.
Oh, they do. Oh,
yeah.
it's still
but
a
in
big thing.
Florida, the attendance isn't great. But there was one year they went to the Stanley Cup Finals and they had this goaltender, John Van Beesbrook, who was he was a good goaltender, I think, in general, but that season he was out of his mind.
Right. And
the team was okay, but there was this guy, I think his name's Scott Mellenby. There was after a game, there was a rat ran across the thing, and tell me if I'm wrong, and he hits it with a stick and killed it.
Right.
And then that story got out. So then whenever they would score goals, I just remember this when I was they would throw plastic rats on the ice, and it got to the point where there was like thousands, like a goal would be scored, and they'd have to have those girls come out with a shovel.
Yes.
That would have been so hot.
No, 100%.
Scooping up rats.
Yeah,
Normally women make you get rid of rodents yourself.
But like you said, that Miami became like a hockey, or South Florida was like a hockey crazy because we were in we lost the Stanley Cup to Colorado, but. But I remember, like, that's when I got in the hockey. I sort of, like, was in the hockey. And when that happened, then I was like, I'm going to follow hockey more just because it was, like, so...
I started watching it, like, a couple years before the Blackhawks started winning, like, year after year. And then they were, like, trading off with the Kings, too, which I liked the Kings as well. So I was having just the best time over those years because...
Oh, absolutely. The Kings versus Chicago, the one Stanley Western Conference Final, was the best hockey ever played, except maybe the World Cup in '96. I was playing Hilarities in Cleveland. There was a one nice day in Cleveland. Everyone's outside this patio. I was literally watching the game on the inside. People are like, what are you doing? I'm like, watching hockey. Cleveland didn't understand hockey. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm watching like the best hockey game I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
Took years off my life.
And
Cleveland, there's no weather that's good enough.
Well, I had maybe my favorite line I've ever said to anybody. It was before LeBron James came back. She's out there. She goes, yeah, it's Cleveland. It's like having four. It's like in one day you can have every season. Yeah. And I go, well, except playoff season.
Yeah.
Who is the best? Mike Tyson aside, who is the best fighter of all time?
This is where I liked his answer. Well, it's pretty much Bob Probert, who was a Detroit Red Wing forever, then became a Chicago Blackhawk.
Why'd you like his name? His answer was Bash Brothers.
Because Probert was one of the Bash Brothers with Joey Koso in
so
Detroit.
He just said it.
In Detroit. Yeah.
Wait.
What a dickhead.
I got it.
That's funny.
Bash Brother.
I know.
I learned that term off
Probert,
the Mighty Ducks as well.
Yeah.
Whatever. Have you seen what's happened to Goldberg, the goalie?
Yeah.
from the Mighty
it's
Ducks.
sad.
It's very sad,
From
yeah.
the Mighty. You watch the Mighty Ducks?
I did. What happened to him?
He's a junkie.
Yeah.
He doesn't look healthy.
Not doing good.
He doesn't look healthy.
Yeah.
And now they brought back the TV show, which incidentally, me and my son really liked the TV show, but we didn't watch the second season because they got rid of Emilio Estevez, and we liked.
He was on the first season?
The Disney Plus show, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, he came back. He was like all disgruntled, and he'd owned an ice hockey ring and all that type of stuff. And then it had the mum from the Gilmore Girls there, and then they had some plucky upstarts who, bad news bears. That's all it is,
Right. No, I just thought Emilio would have something better to do than.
He does not.
You should say
he has something
instead
better
of
to
saying
do.
what happened to the goal. He should say, "Hey, have you seen Emilio Estevez lately?"
He has something better to do than the second season.
Right.
And then they
He
brought
had
in
just
like
enough money not to show up for season 2.
Yeah, but he came in and went.
And what about best team all time or best franchise? We have
The Montreal Canadiens.
best franchise.
Yeah, they've won 26 Stanley Cups.
20. Okay.
Yeah.
And is there like a team that's considered the best team of all time?
The 70s Montreal Canadiens, like the 1970s, 76, 77. They had the most wins ever. Only they lost like 9 games. This is before they had overtimes. And then they had a dynasty in the 70s. Then the New York Islanders won 4 in a row in the early 80s.
I remember that.
And then they
Mike
got
Bossy.
Yeah, Mike Bossy, Trottier, they were great. And then The Edmonton Oilers won 4 in the 80s. Right.
What
after
other
that.
countries have other leagues? Like, we're only talking NHL here, right? So I know, like, you play basketball, you go play in Argentina, you go
Like if
play in
you're a
Asia.
lesser player and you play basketball, you can play China, Greece.
Yeah, like Australia has a
Turkey, Israel,
basketball league. Where's the other leagues?
The next best league is called the KHL, which has teams in Russia and a lot of the Eastern Bloc, or whatever they want to call those, used to be commie countries.
Yeah.
And that's where, like,
I think you can still call them that.
Okay.
That
I don't want Putin listening in. It's liquid deaths for real. No, it's like, but it's pretty uniform now, but for a while it was like, the pay might not show up, or the planes weren't the best planes, the hotels. It's not the NHL, but that's usually where a lot of guys from, it's kind of an escape clause if Russian players or Eastern European players don't think they're being treated well, or like, hey, I should be on the first line, the third line. I'm going to go back and play in Yugoslavia or whatever. So it's kind of like, it's because over there they get treated like kings, and it's kind of Putin likes having to play over there. So that's like probably the second best league in the world. And then after that, you have like the minor league, the AHL in America is the minor league system. Yeah. So there's
no one ever goes to play their career out in Australia or the New Zealand league.
Oh no, they definitely go play in those countries, but only like maybe one or two guys.
No, in Belgium, we were in a place where they had like I feel like we're in a hockey arena.
Every country over there has many leagues.
Yeah, but they're just
and pro leagues.
Yeah,
pro leagues as well. Yeah, you're asking.
Yeah.
Like Israel, I know Israel's basketball town.
Israel likes basketball. Turkey, and basketball's China. That's the number one sport now. Basketball. That's their favorite sport.
Is the rim 8 feet high?
Super
they
tall.
like the American. Well, no. There's a.
I didn't want to be as crass as Joe here.
Well, that's why my cousin.
Joe, don't do the eyes for the people who are listening.
That's why my cousin moved to Japan so he could play center.
Really?
No, I'm just kidding.
No, Stefan Marbury. You remember Stefan Marbury?
Oh, yeah, he's like a king over there.
Yeah, he never. I don't know if he's done playing over there, but they have a statue of him over there because he won so many games. And he's just like, I'll just go over here. I'll get paid a lot of money. He goes, I haven't learned Chinese. I just point stuff on menus. Like,
I reckon I'd like to see baseball in Japan. I reckon the quality would be quite good.
That's their favorite sport. I just saw a map of every.
I thought Japan's really good at baseball.
Yeah. They just won the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah, they have like the Babe Ruth of Babe Ruth. Yeah. They always win World Series too, but I think they cheat, right? Like the Little League World Series. It's always some Asian kids. They're like 30.
Oh, you think they're cheating? In
the you're saying it's just they're full grown.
No, I'm not saying they're like, hey, that guy ran home. No one,
What the loser point? What is that a thing?
So in hockey, because too many teams, it used to be up until like the mid '80s where there was ties. Maybe in the mid '90s. So teams were like 10 minutes left in the game. There wasn't excitement. People were like, oh, we'll take the point. Used to be you get 2 points for a win and 1 point for a tie.
Okay.
So what happened was they're like, oh, we don't want that. We want to have it. So there's an end, especially for America. People want to leave either winners
Americans
or losers.
need to have a winner or loser.
Yes, exactly.
I love a draw.
Exactly.
Because you can fight back for a draw and you can salvage something.
Right. So people still salvage if you pull the goalie and score to tie the game.
Yeah.
But so they made the loser point is if you're tied after regulation, you get a point. If you win in overtime or the shootout, you get 2 points. So the loser point is the point you get even though you lost.
Oh, that might make all the difference at the end of the season.
Yeah,
it does. They add up the loser points. You add up the loser points.
Yeah. I've fucking got plenty of
regulation wins breaks all ties in playoff standings.
All right, and I think we already talked about Miracle on Ice in a shootout. All right, so we got
how many games is the Stanley Cup? It's best of 7?
4 best of 7.
But there's like 4 rounds, right?
Yeah.
Because
it feels like the playoffs.
No, it's 4 rounds.
The playoffs go for a long time.
Like 2 months.
4 rounds each.
They go for a long time.
Yeah, there's 3 rounds in the conference and then the Stanley Cup. So you got to win 3 series and then win the Stanley Cup.
Who's the favorite to win it this year?
Well, right now, I was going to say the best team ever. Boston is knocking on the 77 Canadiens' door of the most wins ever in the season.
Well, it'll be over by now when this podcast comes out.
Well done, Bob.
Well, I can look into the future. I'll do my Carson.
But it's only a couple games left. Only a couple
He's
games
doing Karnak. I never saw Carson, but I know who Karnak is.
Yeah. We got to open. All right. Now's the point of the show called Dinner Party Facts. We ask our expert to give us some facts or some interesting
I think
things
there's a couple. If you want a fun little story, in 1924, when the Canadians won the Stanley Cup in 1924. They went to celebrate at their owner's house, and his name is Leo Dan Durand. They got a flat tire, and to get the spare out of the trunk of the bus, they took out the cup. They left the cup on the side of the highway. They forgot about it and they left. But then when they came back, the cup was still there.
Yeah, with a whole lot of Canadians masturbating into it.
And in 1940,
Who was just burying this hooker in the woods?
Because this is a cool thing. Oh, sorry.
No, I was doing a Canadian.
This is the cool thing is, and we didn't talk about during the cup, is they get to take. That's one of the coolest things about hockey is when you win, each player gets the trophy for a while, right?
They get their name on it. And they get to take it home to their town for a day.
Yeah, that's
so
cool.
the whole town gets it. They can bring it. Take it to a children's hospital.
Yeah.
They have a party. They see other
strip club.
That
Who's
too.
going to the children's hospital?
A lot of them do, Bill. Here's the other fun one. 1940, which the Rangers hadn't won the Stanley Cup since 1940 up until 1994. So as any fan in the East, you could always chant 1940. So they ever thought it was a curse because in 19.
But didn't most of their players were in the war? Or?
No, they won. The last time they won a cup was 1940.
Oh yeah.
So for years and years, when they had a good team and they lose in 1940, it was a way to irritate Ranger fans. But in 1940, when they won. Having won the cup, they could pay off the mortgage on Madison Square Garden. So they went to burn like the mortgage, whatever the payment they had to pay. They burned it in the cup.
All right.
The cup caught on fire, so they had to pee.
Oh, because it's covered in oil.
Yeah, so they had to pee.
Yeah.
So the players peed in it to put the fire out. So they thought that might have been a curse. The curse in 1940.
Oh shit! All right. Yeah.
So and then here's one thing that's numbers. And
Couldn't they just got water or rolled it in
Well, they went around
on the
it.
ice?
They're hockey players.
Yeah,
They're gonna pee in it.
yeah.
Roll it on the ice. Rolling it on ice doesn't put it out.
Well,
They're all drunk. It probably
Yeah.
made it catch on fire a
Well,
lot more.
if you don't want to waste beer, you're gonna pee.
No, it's alcohol as well. It'll be
Right. So,
flammable.
oh, yeah.
Well, I don't think beer's.
So they all poured vodka on it.
So and here, this kind of takes you back to it because you love baseball, right?
Yeah.
So it takes you back. So one of my favorite things ever is if you take away Hank Aaron's home runs, he still has 3,000 hits.
Right.
So if you take away Wayne Gretzky's goals, he's the all-time goal leader with 892.
If
Wait,
you take
wait a
away
minute.
his goals,
If you take away his goals, he still has
but won't he still have goals? He won't have any goals.
Wait,
then.
how does he have goals if you took him away?
he would still have the most points because they add assists as
Oh,
well.
assists as a points.
Oh yeah.
So if you just take away all his goals, he still has the most
He
points.
still
though.
has the most
So you
points.
get 1 point for a goal and 1 point for assist.
Yes.
So total
See, that's
points.
why he was the best for us. You were debating it.
I was?
Very clearly. You said, how do you know? There must have been another one, Lafleet Lafleur. Yeah, he's very
So
clearly.
no one's going to touch his records ever.
For points, no, but Ovechkin is like he's like 80 goals away
From Gretzky's?
from
Wow.
Gretzky's goal.
But he's old now, Ovechkin, right?
He's going to stick around. He's still scoring at a great pace. He's still one of the 20, 30 best players in the league.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
How old
Russian.
can you play?
Well, Gordie Howe played till he was 51 in the World Hockey.
And he's taking hits?
Yeah, and Jaromir Jagr.
I can't stand up from a chair.
I remember Jaromir Jagr played to
Jaromir Jagr, who won his 2 cups as a Penguin, he is still playing over in Czechoslovakia or Czech Republic.
How old is he?
He owns the franchise, so he goes. He sets out. They need him to play.
Yeah.
and they sell out when he plays.
How old is he?
He's 51.
Fucking A. Yeah, I can't. Just like that you were saying.
Yeah,
I can get out of bed in the
Chris
morning.
Chelios played in the NHL till about 44, 40, and he played minor league for a couple years. Most guys end about 41. The most ever of a skater non-goaltenders usually about 38, 39. A couple guys made it into their early 40s.
Yeah.
Can't goalkeepers?
Goalkeepers stay.
Goaltenders.
No, but they have to do that split.
But they can
gotta go
stay.
like
But
this
they
in
can
the
stay a little longer. But Mr. Howe, Mr. Hockey, Gordie Howe, he lasted until 51
Jesus.
because he went to the World Hockey League for a while, then they merged.
Well, Joe, thanks for being here. Joe Bartnick. You can listen to his hockey podcast, Puck Off, with Fraser Smith, and check out Pro Hockey News for his writing, his contributing writer there. And then on Instagram, Mr. Joe Bartnick, Twitter, @Joe Bartnick.
Facebook.
Yeah, that too.
I
But
hate social media. It's the worst.
thanks for being here. That was awesome.
No, I hope you had fun.
Thank you for being on the podcast, Joe. Always a pleasure, never a chore. If you're ever at a party and someone comes up to you and goes, "Can you explain icing to me?" Go, "I don't know about that," and walk away. Good night, Australia.